भूमौ स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनम् त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वमेव शरणं शिवे। क्वणत्काञ्चीदामा करिकलभकुम्भस्तननता परीक्षीणा मध्ये परिणतशरच्चन्द्रवदना धनुर्बाणान् पाशं सृणिमपि दधाना करतलैः पुरस्तादास्तां नः पुरमथितुराहो पुरुषिका। अद्य वयं त्रयोविंशात् श्लोकात् आरम्भं कुर्मः। त्वया हृत्वा वामं वपुरपरितृप्तेन मनसा शरीरार्धं शम्भोरपरमपि शङ्के हृतमभूत् यदेतत्त्वद्रूपं सकलमरुणाभं त्रिनयनं कुचाभ्यामानम्रं कुटिलशशिचूडालमकुटम्। एष श्लोकः अर्धनारीश्वरस्य तत्त्वम् उदाहरन् अ, अम्बायाः मूलस्वरूपं किमिति हास्यमयरूपेण एव प्रस्तौति प्रस्तौति। त्वया हे अम्ब, त्वया वपुः वामं हृत्वा शम्भोः अपरम् अपि शरीरार्धं हृतम् अभूत् इति शङ्के। So, hey Amba, you have had some dissatisfaction in your mind. Aparitriptena manasa. You were unsatisfied by Shiva giving you just half of his body. In the Ardhanarishwara Tattva, half of it is Devi, while the other half is Ishvara. Is it not? So, half of it is Devi and half of it is Ishvara. You were not satisfied by having just half the body. So, what did you do? Aparam api shambhoho sharirardham hritam. You snatched up, you gobbled up the sharira of the other half as well. So you not only became the better half, but you became the entirety. You swallowed up Shiva's other half as well. And therefore, what happened? Yat, why am I saying that? Aham shanke. I am guessing. I am making a guess that this is what you did. Why? यत् एतत् त्वद्रूपं त्वद् यद्रूपम् अस्ति तव यद्रूपं वर्तते which is sakalam arunabham, which is completely orangish hue. The entirety of your body and your complexion is totally orangish. And kintu trinayanam asti. Trinayana is referred usually to Rudra. How is it that you got the Trinayana? Kuchabhyam anamram, and you have this form of yours has a kucha. It has female breasts, and it has two breasts. See, if in the Ardhanarishwara form, one must have a breast, the other must not. It must just have abs, but pecs rather. So here there are two bosoms of yours, which means you have completely occupied and taken over Shiva's body. Kuchabhyam anamram, and so you have slightly a curved form. Kuchabhyam anamram. Kintu, the remnants of it having been Shiva's half is still there because Kutila Shashi Chudala Makutam. Because your form still has the Makuta, the crown, which has the Kutila Shashi, the crescent crooked moon, Kutila Shashi chuda at your forehead. So which means what? It was Shiva who originally had the Chandra. It is Shiva who originally has the three Nayana. And you had an orangish color and you had your two breasts. So these are your hallmark symbols. Now, because you have taken over his complete body, you have engulfed his other half as well. Your form itself has now come to bear the crescent moon on your forehead, as well as the jata, as well as having three nayana and having the motherly two breasts. This is the form that it has come to be. And the explanation, the justification he gives, a poetic justification he gives is because aparitriptena manasatvam, because you were dissatisfied with just half of Shiva's body, and because your love for Shiva is so deep and longing is so deep and desperate that you wanted completely him to be you. You want complete merger of Bhava and Bhavani, right? You want a complete unity between Shiva and Shakti, between Purusha and Prakriti to lead to that oneness. So that oneness form is basically the symbolicism of Ardhanarishwara. So here, Ardhanarishwara symbolizes that. But whereas you took it another step forward to consume him completely, to overpower and overshadow him completely with your Aruna, with your orange hue. But still, Shiva, you could not completely displace Shiva off. You could not consume him completely with your love because his symbols, his unique identity of the Chandra and the three Nayana still remained in your form. Let's just look at Lalita's form, Lalita Devi, and you will understand it better. You see here? In this form, she has the three Nayana, she has the crescent moon as well, and there is the Kucha, which has come from the mother, and then there is the complete orangish hue in her skin, which has come from herself. So this Lalita is an equivalent of the Ardhanarishwara Tattva, and therefore the puja of Lalita is equivalent to doing the puja of both Parvati as well as of Shiva at the same time simultaneously. Sakalam arunabham trinayanam kuchabhyam anamram kutila shashi chudala makutam. त्वया हृत्वा वामं वपुरपरितृप्तेन मनसा शरीरार्धं शम्भोरपरमपि शङ्के हृतमभूत् यदेतत्त्वद्रूपं सकलमरुणाभं त्रिनयनं कुचाभ्यामानम्रं कुटिलशशिचूडालमकुटम्. At in each verse, that very recurring theme of Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini, it keeps coming. The refrain is constant at the in the backstage. All these verses are always hinting at that. जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवति रुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत्स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः तव आज्ञाम आलम्ब्य भ्रूलतिकयोः क्षणचलितयोः भ्रूलतिकयोः आज्ञाम् आलम्ब्य एव धाता जगत्सूते हरिः अवति रुद्रः क्षपयते ईशः वपुः ईशः तिरयति सदा शिवः तत् इदम् अनुगृह्णाति इति पंचकृत्य परायण. If you remember from Lalita Sahasranama, let's look at that particular verse. Let's try to find it. Where the five Panchakrityas, the five-fold processes of creation are described. That is, as Vishnu, she is doing the Palana. As Brahma, she is causing the creation. As Rudra, she is destroying it. As Ishana, she is veiling up the entire world and hiding it. And whereas as Sadashiva, she is blessing the entire world back into a seed form. So this was described there. Let's see if we can find it.
महोदय
Namaste.
नमस्कारः क्षम्यतां विलम्बः जातः
चिंता नास्ति.
अहं विस्मृतवान् सर्वतया भवान् फोन् काल् मी औट् आफ् जायिण्ट्
ओ अस्तु अस्तु. अत्र तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पञ्चकृत्यपरायणा भानुमण्डलमध्यस्था भैरवी भगमालिनी पद्मासना भगवती पद्मनाभसहोदरी उन्मेषनिमिषोत्पन्नविपन्नभुवनावलिः. You see here? सृष्टिकर्त्री ब्रह्मरूपा गोप्त्री गोविंदरूपिणी संहारिणी रुद्ररूपा तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पंचकृत्य परायणा. This basic verse, these two verses, has been chosen as the foundation for the verse which we just described. Jagat धाता सूते. धाता अर्थात प्रजापति ही ब्रह्मा. Sute, he creates, he gives birth to the Jagat. Then Harihi, Vishnuhu, Avati. Avati is Palayati, Rakshati. He takes care of the world. He allows it to function and manages the processes. Rudraha, and once it is done, when the company has to be dissolved because it went bankrupt, Rudra takes care of all the legal proceedings and he destroys and closes the entire shop down. Kshapayate, Nashayati, Tiraskurvan, Etat, Etat Jagat, Swam Api Vapuhu, Ishaha, Tiraskurvan, Tirayati. What does Ishana do or Isha do? Isha, because he is so dispassionate, he doesn't even care about destroying the world. He can't even give two hoots about trying to destroy the world. So what he does is Swam api vapuhu. He hides his own vapus, his own deha, as well as etat, that is the jagat. Tiraskurvan, he neglects it. He completely, wishes it off. Tiraskurvan etat swam api vapuhu ishaha tirayati. Tirayati means to hide it or to veil it, to conceal it. So that it will be very hard for Prajapati to find it back and find the seeds of creation back to unfold it. So he hides completely the entire world, which is called as Tirodhana. But then what does Sadashiva do? Because of your Ajna, Sada Purvaha Sarvam Tat Idam, Sarvam Jagat Idam, Sada Purva Shivaha means Shiva who is preceded by the word Sada, which means Sada Shiva. Sada Purva Sarvam Tad Idam Anugrahnati cha Shivaha. He does Anugraha. Now here Anugraha doesn't literally mean to bless. Anugrahnati, it means to pull it back into creation. to pull those veil down, to pull the Maya down and shine as Shiva Tattva, that is called as Sada Shiva. That's the function of Sada Shiva. So these five things uh, they do, who these people who are in charge of the respective processes, they are doing. Katham Tava Ajnam Alambya. It is not that they are just doing on their own whims and fancy. It is not so because they are taking orders from you, who Devi, who are giving the orders in a very peculiar, dispassionate manner. Kshana chalitayor bhrulatikayoho. Just with the raising and lowering of your eyebrows. Bhru is brows. Eyebrows, latikayo, they're like creepers. They are the small rows of um, creepers on your eyes. Kshana chalitayoho. You just signal to them what they must start doing and what they must stop doing. With just that on off switches with you, and you give commandments to all these five people just through that. Even in the depiction of Lalita Devi, if you see the her asana, Pancha Pretasanasina, Pancha Brahma Swarupini, it is told. She sits on a cot. We have discussed this. Having four people, see that Brahma there? Prajapati, Srishtikartri, Brahma Rupa, and then Goptri, Govinda Rupini, then Samharini, Rudra Rupa, then Tirodhana Karishwari. And where is Sadashiva? He is sleeping on the mat. Sadashiva Anugrahada Panchakritya Parayana. These are the five Krityas of the universe. And she, just through her eyebrows, is signaling and issuing orders to these five people. The other hidden meaning here is Sada Purvaha can be split in two ways, of course, as Sada Shivaha, because the word Sada is coming Purva of Shiva, so Sada Purvaha Shivaha. The other meaning is Sat Apurvaha, means one who is completely filled to the brim with Sat, which is existence, which is basically Shiva, Satchidananda, Sada Purvaha Shivaha, Sarvamidam Anugrinhati. Because he is existence, he brings back the concealed universe back into existence by doing Anugraha on it. See, the word Anugraha here means to pull it back. Even the meaning is quite similar to what the popular meaning of Anugraha is, because Anugraha in the literal sense is to bless, is to manifest, is to bring something into existence, is it not? When we say I got Devi's Anugraha and got 30 marks upon 30 marks in an exam. So the 30 marks manifested, it came into existence. So even in that sense, it still holds true that Sada Purva, Sada Shiva does Anugraha to the world and pulls it back into existence. And more so, what is being described here is not just what these people are doing, it's not just a job description of the JDs of these people, but more importantly, the orders are coming from the higher up, which is Devi, and she doesn't even have to lift a finger because she is just signaling them verily through her eyebrows, such as the Mahatmya of Devi. Gatum Kim? Hello? Astu. जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवति रुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत्स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः. Any questions?
नास्ति महोदय। अत्र एतत् तिरोधानम् एवं च कथम् एतत् अहं प्रथमवारं कृतवान् तान् विषयान्। तत् द्वौ शिवौ स्तः क्षम्यतां त्रिविधौ स्तः। प्रथमः ईशानः, सः he hides it. And the second one is doing Anugraha. Third one is Sachidananda. Can you explain it?
Yeah, so this actually
Why
comes
these are
from the
treated?
yeah. This comes from actually is borrowed from the Kashmiri Shaivism where Parashiva or Paramashiva is basically Sada Shiva. Um, that is the Tattva of Parabrahman. And these five people, actually, though we call them Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishana, they are said to be the fivefold manifestations of Shiva himself. So let me just pull that up. There is a form of Rudra called as Panchamukhi Rudra, the five-faced Rudra.
Is this from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra?
Yes, yes, correct. All these tantras are from the Kashmiri Sampradaya only. See this. Uh, we also say, right, Sadhyojatam Prapadyami. So that Sadhyojata is actually one who becomes Brahma. Vamadeva Yanamo becomes Vishnu. Then Aghorebhyo becomes Rudra because he destroys. And then Nana, yes, Yasmat Ghorataram Kimapi Nasti Saha Aghoraha. Like when you say Anuttama, it doesn't mean not Uttama. Anuttamam means one something. यस्मात् परम उत्तमम किमपि नास्ति तद अनुत्तमम इति तथा ओके दिस गॉन सो या अघोर इज यस्मात् परम घोरतरम किमपि नास्ति स एव घोरतमः इति सो दिस इज कॉल्ड अघोर एंड then Rudra Tatpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi is the one who is like the Sadashiva, and Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam is the Ishana Rupa. So these are the five deities who have sprung out of Shiva, the five faces of Shiva, and they are respectively called Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishana, and Sadashiva. Okay, maybe I have shared it already on the group. I will share it once again, where that particular phase is denoted. So from the Purva comes uh, Brahma, from the Dakshina comes Rudra, from the Uttara comes Vishnu, from the Pratichi, that is west, comes Ishana, and from the Urdhva Mukha comes Sadashiva. It's very significant because Purva is while with the rising sun, so the creation comes to happen, and then Uttara is for Uttarottara Abhivriddhi, so all growth happens by Vishnu from the Uttara, whereas the Dakshina is for Yama and death, where Rudra comes in. And when it is hidden, we see only three faces from the front, which is the hidden face, which is there at the Pratichi, the west. So that is the Ishana, who hides the universe completely. That is, not even the Bhasma after Rudra has turned it into Bhasma is even available. Completely hidden, like in Sushupti, all completely hidden. And then Sadashiva wishes it back into creation. He is the Urdhva facing Mukha.
Can we interpret it as in terms of the avasthas that we go through?
Yes, yes, exactly, correct. So Jagrat could be correct. Jagrat could be, Brahma. Uh, what is that? Swapna, in a way, can be Vishnu because he is also always in Yoga Nidra. It's neither Yoga nor Nidra. So he's just dreaming of it. And yeah, and then Nidra or Sushupti would be like complete cessation of everything, which could be like the destruction of the universe, so to speak, of the subjective universe, which is Rudra, and Turiya would be, yeah, in a way you can, because of course there are five things here.
Surya could be Sadashiva.
Sadashiva, yes.
Okay, so I would like to let me know if this is aprastuta, but I do have a doubt. In the sense that why should we do the Angikara of Kashmiri Shaivism? Okay, Tasya, what is the basis for it? Are there any Vedokta, Puranas, or anything like that?
So the Shaiva Parampara, which I mean, why is it called Kashmir? Because it was mainly very popular in Kashmir, but nothing else to do with it. Tatra Shaiva Parampara Sarvamapi Ati Advaita Nikatam Asti. So why must we accept? I don't know. We cannot choose to accept it, but it is definitely very close to Advaita. That much I know. And Abhinava Gupta and the other great masters who were pioneers and the founding fathers, or so to speak, founding mothers, Lalleshwari and so on, they have spoken and tried to integrate uh, all the Upanishads and the Puranas together, but from a Shaiva perspective. That is, substituting all where Parabrahma, etc., such abstract concepts are, with maybe Shiva, Parashiva, and so on and so forth. So, apart from that, there is a very similar, there's a great parallel between what happens in Advaita and how it is described in Shaivism too. So, and they also try to integrate Tantra, all this Kundalini and so on. So, it's a great effort to bring variegated fields of spirituality together and bring them. See, even for example, Sankhya, they use the Purusha, Prakriti, Shiva, Shakti equivalents. Then they bring the chakras, where we have already seen, and they bring yoga there too, because they link Shiva with being the Adi Guru of the yoga and the Hatha Yoga. Some of the Natha Parampara, that is Gorakshanatha, Matsyendra Natha, all of them have been inspired also to some degree by those scriptures of Kashmiri Shaivism. So, in that sense, yes, it is quite popular. We need not accept it, we need not do Angikara of it.
अस्माकं गुरुः शङ्कराचार्यः सः अङ्गीकृतवान् इत्युक्ते वयमपि अङ्गीकुर्मः एव इति मन्ये
स्यात् तथा वक्तुं शक्यते तस्य शिवानन्दलहर्यामपि अनेके अंशाः तत्र तस्मात् ग्रन्थादपि उद्धृताः एव सन्ति
अस्माकं वयमपि अङ्गीकुर्मः तर्हि So one more, I don't want this to go on and on.
No, please go on. Feel free to.
This is what I have heard, that, in Dhyaana Bhairava Tantra, this is what it says, that Shiva is so perfect that he imagines, initially he was alone, and then he imagines that he makes the world and he becomes all the Shiva. Then his imagination is so perfect that he forgets the Shiva.
Oh, so okay.
The point of all the Jivas, all the people, is to remember back that the fact that they are just Shiva, just imagining all that is happening around them, all the dukkha and the dukkha.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Very interesting. God created and then he or she forgot it. Yes.
Because he's so perfect.
Ah.
So perfect. When he became a Jiva, so this is the story I heard. He keeps on being born as different animals, different people, etc., to have different kinds of experience. But still, whenever he remembered that he was Shiva, that experience was not as enjoyable for him. So what he did was he forgot the fact that he was Shiva. And that is what we all are, is something that they say, is what I've heard. A very interesting perspective of looking at life.
Correct. I think there must be a quote also of Alan Watts about God forgets, something like that. He was also quite uh, influenced by this. So, like a dream, the ultimate reality has forgotten a dream of not being God. Yeah, something like that, like a cosmic drama. He dreams that he is not anymore God. So that is what his entire philosophy centrally stood about. God got
Right.
bored of being Shiva and he just imagined the world. Yeah,
And the imagination is perfect that he
okay.
completely forgot his
Yeah,
God.
he actually,
I
yeah,
am a diva. I have so many problems.
correct,
I am
correct.
sad and happy.
Mm.
The point is, eventually he wake up and then he's like, ah, that was just a dream.
Just, yes, correct. अस्तु अग्रे सराम त्रयाणां देवानां त्रिगुणजनितानां तव शिवे भवेत् पूजा पूजा तव चरणयोर्या विरचिता तथा हि त्वत्पादोद्वहनमणिपीठस्य निकटे स्थिता ह्येते शश्वन्मुकुलितकरोत्तंसमकुटाः त्रयाणां देवानां त्रिगुणजनितानां पूजा भवेत् यदि तव पूजा तव चरणयोः या विरचिता सा भवेत् तथा हि बिकॉज ही यतः त्वत् पाद उद्वहन मणिपीठस्य निकटे स्थिताः एते मुकुलितकरोत्तंस मकुटाः शश्वत् स्थिताः एते all these four devatas त्रयाणां देवानां त्रिगुणजनितानां Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, they are respectively said to represent the functions of Prakriti, which are Srishti, Sthiti, and Samhara. So, therefore, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So, these three, Trayanam, Devanam, the Trimurtis, who are Triguna Janitanam, they are born from your three gunas. Triguna Janitanam, Tava Shive, He Shive, Bhavet Puja, Puja. So, if I want to worship the three Murtis, he's telling, I will just worship your feet. तव चरणयोः या विरचिता पूजा सा एव पूजा भवेत्. Why? Because all these murtis are sitting at your feet. So when I do pushpa puja to your feet, some of them may already fall at them also. So indirectly, I would have been doing the puja to all these three murtis as well. Triguna janitanam tava shive bhavet puja puja तव चरणयोः या विरचिता तव चरणयोः या पूजा विरचिता सा एव तेषामपि पूजा इति स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते यदेतत् तथा हि त्वत् पाद उद्वहन because they are see this pitha there where Lalita Amba is placing her feet that is called Udvahana Pitha. Tava tatha hi tvat pada Udvahana Pithasya nikate. They are sitting near that Udvahana Pitha. Sthitaha, they are actually standing. Sthitaha hi ete shashwat. They are forever standing at your feet alone. Shashwat mukulita karaha. Mukulita means like this, folding hands. Mukulita karaha, just like a lotus which will wither back into its bud form. Similarly, Mukulita Kara Uttamsa Makutaha, and even their crowns, they are actually, uh, they are touching when you fold your hands, do the Namaskara Mudra and touch your forehead to it. That is the mudra which is being talked about. Mukulita Kara Uttamsa Makutaha. Makuta is the crown or the forehead. So they are bowing before you with folded hands and forehead, and thereby I shall just do puja to your feet, and it will be equivalent to doing the puja to all the entire pantheon of gods, because they are verily not just coincidentally that are there at your feet, because they are at your feet, because they are Triguna Janita. They have been born as your sons and daughters from the three gunas. quite a simple shloka. Gatum किं Varya?
त्रयाणां देवानां त्रिगुणितजनितानां तव शिवे भवेत् पूजा पूजा तव चरणयोर्या विरचिता यथा हि त्वं त्वत्पादोद् पादोद्वहनमणिपीठस्य निकटे चिताह्येते शश्वन्मुकुलित करो करोत्तं समकुटाः
शश्वन्मुकुलितकरोत्तंस मकुटाः
शश्वन्मुकुलितकरोत्तं समकुटाः
कोऽपि अभिप्रायः प्रश्नो वा?
प्रश्नः कोऽपि नास्ति सम्यगेव अवगतवान्
अवगतम् समीचीनम्. Is anybody else there around? Anybody? Raghavendra Varya asti. Would you like to comment or remark anything about it?
Sudarshan ji, you are asking me.
Yeah, you have great insights as well. Would you like to provide any?
The first thought that came to my mind is that Eko Deva Sarva Bhutantaratma. So that unification of all the energies at our feet.
Beautiful. Eko Deva Sarvabhuteshu Gudha Sarvavyapi Sarvabhutantaratma. Correct.
Yeah. एतत् तस्य समानम् अस्ति नदीनां जलः समुद्रे गच्छति तथा एव सर्वनमस्काराः तेषां प्रति गच्छन्ति इति अस्माकं सन्ध्यावन्दने एकं श्लोकमस्ति खलु
आम् आम् साधु. And this can also yogically mean the three guna are the three nadis which finally meet at the Sahasrara, which is basically the pada of Devi, where the three nadis, which is Sushumna, which is the white color representing Sattva, then there is the Rajas, which is the Surya nadi or called the Pingala nadi, and then there is the Tamas or the cooling effect, which is the Ida. So all the three Triguna Janita, which are like the Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra, they finally meet at the Sahasrara. So if one's energy has risen there, it's as good as obviously it has gone through all these three channels earlier to have reached there. So in a way, the puja of the Sahasrara itself would mean the puja of every other lower chakras. Even that way we can understand this verse. And in fact, this very story of how when Brahma and Vishnu were fighting as to who is the bigger, who is the superior deity of worthier of worship, they say the stambha of Jyoti, a Jyoti stambha emerged between the cosmos, and the two people started, the two devatas, they wanted to find out the origin and the end of it. So Brahma took on the form of a swan and flew up, and Vishnu took on the form of a boar and flew, I mean, drilled down to find it. Neither of them were successful, and then Shiva appeared from this stambha, and but because Brahma lied to have said that he actually found the head, which he actually had not, he cursed him to ever be unworthy of worship because of his asatyata. Whereas because Vishnu at least admitted honestly that he was not able to find, he blessed him to have to be the worthier of the two. Now that is the story. But what it could also mean is, of course, Ida represents the cool moon, which is like Vishnu, Whereas Pingala is the Hiranyagarbha or Brahma, which is Prajapati, the Surya Nadi, and they are wound about the Sushumna, which is Rudra, which is Shiva. So there is neither the beginning nor the end because the Pingala and the Ida they merge back into the Sushumna at the Sahasrara, the place of infinity, and they start from the Kulakundali, the Kulakunda, where there is no distinction between the three nadis there. So in a way, this is the point of zero and this is the point of infinity. So there is no end nor beginning to this Sushumna Nadi. Something like that we could also interpret it.
अत्र ह्यः अहम् उक्तवान् खलु तद् नीराजन गीतं
Mm.
तत्रापि देवीम् एवम् उच्यते किमित्युक्ते भुवनारम्भस्तम्भे इति
Mm?
भुवनारम्भस्तम्भे इति
Bhuvana Arambhasthambe. Wow.
इत्युक्ते तत्रापि शिवशक्त्याः भेदः इति स्यात्
Mm. Bhuvana Arambhastambhe. Correct. The pillar from which Bhuvana comes forth. It manifests forth. Correct. विरिञ्चिः पञ्चत्वं व्रजति हरिराप्नोति विरतिम् विनाशङ्की नाशो भजति धनदो याति निधनम् वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा महासंहारेऽस्मिन् विहरति सति त्वत्पतिरसौ Mahasamhare Asmin. So at the time of Mahasamhara, of Mahapralaya, where at the end of a kalpa, all the gods are completely dissolved and all their portfolios are retracted and they're all dismissed from their positions of power. And not only of power, but also of their very existence. What happened? Tvat patihi, your so he is praising Devi's pati, her husband. Asau tvat patihi, that pati of yours, he is happy. He is complaining that, oh, this pati of yours, he is rejoicing, viharati. When Mahasamhares means sati, the entire world and universe and all, multiverse is undergoing a collapse, and your husband is laughing there, is what he is funnily asking Devi. In a way, it's a Nindastuti that, see, even if the entire Samhara of the world happens, your Pati will remain unaffected. That is one. And you are also unaffected because I'm complaining about him to you. If you are not there, I mean, there's no point in complaining about him to you. So you both remain unaffected. In fact, both of you are just one, but त्वत्पतिः असौ महासंहारे अस्मिन् महानाशे अपि सः विहरति. So how sadistic he is. And two meanings of course here are sati is the Sati Saptami Prayoga, where as the Mahasamhara is happening, Tvatpatihi viharati iti. Or the other meaning is Sati, He Sati. It is a Sambodhana Vibhakti to calling out to Devi. He Sati, Tvatpatihi aso viharati khalu. And the other meaning of asav is saha. It comes from the other shabda, aso, amu, ami, amum, amu, amun, and so on. The other, of course, is the saptami vibhakti of the form of asu, which is prana. So within your prana, why is he not affected by the samhara? Is because he is your prana. You call him prananatha, right? Oh Devi. So you absorb him into your prana. You absorb him into yourself so that he remains safe. So he is happy that yeah, he is not undergoing destruction while the other rest of the pantheon is undergoing a complete chaos and collapse. So what is that chaos is described here. Virinchif panchatvam rajati. Virinchi, that is Brahma, also becomes panchatva. Panchatva means death. Hmm. भीषास्माद्वातः पवते भीषोदेति सूर्यः भीषास्मादग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च Mrityurdhavati panchama iti. So Panchamaha Mrityu Dhavati means by the fear of destruction, even Mrityu becomes a Panchama. Panchama means death. Becoming one with the five elements is called Panchatvam. Basically meaning expiry expiration of Brahma happens, his expiration date is over. So Viranchif Panchatvam Vrajati Harihi Viratim Apnoti. Hari also becomes very tired. Virati means cessation. Hari also gets dissolved. He becomes consumed by the pralaya. Vinasham Kinashaha Bhajati. Kinasha is Yama. Keen, Keenan Ashatiti Keenashaha. One who eats corpses is called Keenasha. Because he is death, he consumes corpses. He is called Keenashaha. Keena Ashaha. Keenan Ashnoti or Ashnati iti Keenashaha. He becomes Nasha. He also gets destroyed. Dhanadaha. So bhajati here doesn't mean to do bhajane, but it means to karoti, becomes. Bhavati. Vinasham Keenasho Bhajati Dhanadaha Yati Nidhanam. This entire portfolio of Kubera, his entire value comes because he has a lot of money. He is rich, he is the richest. He himself becomes poor. Nidhanam Yati. So he also gets destroyed because there is no more value with him. Vitandri Mahendri Vitatihi Api. Uh, Vitandri is Tandra is sleep. Vitandri means slumber. Mahendri Vitatihi, the entire list of gods which are headed by Mahendra, that is Indra. Vitati means the entire sequence. Agni, Vayu, Surya, Aditya, the Vasus, and all those people. Completely, they go into a slumber, hibernation. Vitandri, Mahendri, Vitatihi api. Kada, Sammilita Drisha, when you close your eyes. Sammilana means to shut your eyes. Because of you shutting your eyes, Drisha Sammilite Sati, then what happens? The entire Jagat undergoes a pralaya and all the gods also get destroyed and displaced. Kintu Mahasamhare Asmin Tava Patihi, because he is sitting in your Asu, he is protected and he is happy, he is laughing. Viharati Sati. So at the same time, he is praising both Shiva and Parvati, mm, with the same words. A very similar verse goes even in the Shivananda Lahari. Let me just
Okay.
recall.
Uh,
Mm, yeah.
I just wanted to point something out
Yes.
about pralaya.
Mm,
प्रलय इत्युक्ते लीनं करणमेव लयम्
mm,
इति where the pralaya itself is described as just becoming one with the Parabrahma Tattva. It's not destruction per se. Maybe we can interpret this same shloka in that in that with that keeping that in mind. So
mm.
that would make it even more sundara in the sense that we are talking about the a state where everything goes back to one,
Correct.
so including Virinchi, Hari, etc. All of them are happy rather than running away, is what I would feel,
Mm,
because they are already jnanis.
right. Yes, very plausible. We can interpret it that way. Mahapralaya, yes, everything becomes a homogeneous singleness, singularity, correct. I mean, yeah, this shloka is not meant to offend other sects where different deities like Hari or Yama, if there's a sect like that, and Kubera described. The point, like we have mentioned in the beginning, is uh, we must not look at these gods as heroes that we are worshipping, but rather as functions of nature. So the function of nature, which is concerning protection and operation, gets is no longer happening, and no more creation is happening. No more destruction with Yama is happening. No more is there, you know. value creation, and the entire other forces of nature, such as maybe gravity or whatever, rains, thunder, all that forces of nature have taken a backseat, and such pralaya where Prakriti itself is no longer functioning, then Shiva, which is consciousness, still remains untouched, still remains uh, abjectly, kind of crudely happy that it cannot be touched. What is that? In the second shloka, in the second adhyaya of Gita, we were studying this. What was that? Mm,
Okay.
the
न
uh,
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शिशिराणि न
Satyam.
दहति पावकः न चैनं न चैनं
क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः
मारुतः क्लेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद् सोरि
अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्यो
अदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एवः
हम्म नित्यः
नित्यः
सर्वगतः
अचलोऽयं सनातनः.
Satyam. So there also the word sthanu comes. So that again it is a reference to that Shiva Tattva, not as in a person called Shiva or a Devata which we worship by Shiva. So yeah, we can maybe understand it in more secular, more non-sectarian way that way.
No, no, that would be the sectarian way to look at it. Advaita sect.
Advaita sect, yes. Correct. Any other question, Anyaha? That shloka from Shivananda Lahari is Kim Brumastava Sahasam Pashupate Kasyasti Shambho Bhavad Dhairyam Chedrisham Atmanasthitiriam Chanyaih Katham Labhyate Bhrashyaddevaganam Trasanmuniganam Nashyat Prapancham Layam पश्यन्निर्भय एक एव विहरत्यानन्दसान्द्रो भवान्. Even there, it's saying, what can we say of your prowess and bravery, O Pashupati, O Shiva, because you alone um, stay nirbhaya without bhaya, because like we have like he Trivikramarya also mentioned dvitiyad vai bhayam, so nirbhaya ekah eva, because you are alone you are also nirbhaya, and you are you're happy despite being alone and without fear. Nirbhaya eka eva viharati ananda sandraha, you are so dense in your own ananda, watching what? Bhrashyat Devaganam, the entire Devagana and the forces of nature are collapsing. Bhrashyat Trasan Muniganam, even the realized sage, so called realized sage themselves, the Jivan Muktas, are also afraid for their lives at this time of Pralaya. Bhrashyat Devaganam Trasan Muniganam Nashyat Prapancham Layam. And in the at the time of Laya, everything is getting completely Aikya, and you are therefore still able to revel in this. And so, what? How much atmasthairia you should have, and how much dhairya you should have to witness such calamity before you and still remain untouched and happy. Yeah, it's very in line with what we just discussed. How the chit tattva, the consciousness, can still remain unaffected by nature.
अत्र विहरति इत्यस्य
Mm.
सामान्यार्थं तु move freely is what we say, or move around
Mm.
happy.
Mm.
But what does viharati mean in this context?
Nandati, santushyati iti artha. Viharati, yes, it means to move about freely. It also means to relax. See, ahara vihara we say, Ayurveda. Ahara is effort put in to procure, whereas vihara is some relaxing recuperation. So maybe this can be meant as relaxes. He relaxes even in the Mahapralaya.
Or is it visishtam harati iti viharati?
Mm, probably not, but yeah, I cannot denounce its possibility completely. Yeah, Vishishtam Harati. But what is he Harati? What is he stealing away? What is he destroying?
The temporary identities of all these devatas and the prapancha.
Mm. Oh, okay. Tvatpatihi aso mahasamharesmin viharati. Oh, okay. He's stealing away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Hmm. He's stripping all of the existence of its identities and yeah, correct. Yeah, I had never thought of this. Sadhu. Anybody else would like to contribute to the discussion?
No, it is beyond me. I just woken up as well.
Okay, you have woken up to godlyhood. You have woken up to
One.
uh, uh, astu. Now that we have seen Devi in her complete magnificence, we are coming to a more humble take of Adi Shankaracharya that Devi is so big and so glorious. What can I do about it? So he says, Japo jalpa shilpam sakalamapi mudra virachana gatif pradakshinya ashanadyahuti vidhi pranama samvesha sukhamakhilamatmarpanadrisha पर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्. Oh, we didn't read the previous one. कृपया गायतु.
अस्तु किञ्चित् पञ्चत्वं व्रजति हरिराट् हरिराप्नोति विरतिम् विनाशं विनाशो भजति धनदो याति निधनम् वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री विततिरपि विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा महासंहारे अस्मिन् विहरति सति त्वत्पतिसरौ त्वत्पतिरसौ
जपो जल्पः मम जपः जल्पः एव मम जपः भवतु. Mama yat me vilasitam. Whatever I have played in my mischief as a child, all that tantrums I have thrown, uh, whatever jalpa I have done, whatever gossip, whatever mm, petty arguments I have gotten into, and sorry.
naughtiness is what
Not in all my naughtiness, all my mutterings and utterings, let it all become your japa. Bhavatu. Tava paryaya bhavatu. Let it become synonymous or equivalent of as though I have done a japa to you. Mama shilpam sakalam api te mudra virachana bhavatu. All the shilpa I have done. Shilpa doesn't mean sculpting here. Shilpa means all profession. All, writing, typing, texting, working as a laborer. All that physical activity with my hands I have done. Let it all be as though I have shown mudras to you. Mudra virachana. Gatihi pradakshinya kramanam. All movement with my legs and locomotion, let it all be, please consider it as though I have done pradakshina of you. Pradakshinya kramanam. Ashanadi ahuti vithihi. Whatever I have eaten, all this junk food, onion, meat, alcohol, whatever, anything that I have eaten or not eaten, everything that I do, let it all become, in a way, an ahuti to you, ahuti vithihi, pranama samvesha, and I don't know how to bow properly before you, so I just sleep. I am so lazy, I just sleep. Samvesha, let it become a pranama to you. Sukham akhilam atmar panadrisha, and all my sukha, all the pleasures I very hardly struggle and work hard to struggle and seek such security and pleasures of life. Akhilam, Let it all be Atma Arpana Drisha, because I am doing an Atma Arpana to you, as though I am dedicating myself completely to you. Saparya Paryayah. Let it all become a way of pleasing you itself. Let you please start considering all my pleasures as being equivalent to my activities of trying to please you. Though I may have done it to please myself, you please, O mother, consider it to be have been equivalent of saparya, of puja. The word puja, in fact, literally means to be happy. Pujanam means to please someone. So that is also the same as saparya. Saparyati means it's not to have the last supper, but saparya is to do pujayati. Saparyati. So Saparya Paryayah Tava Bhavatu Yanme Vilasitam. So this is a very heart-touching, heart-warming sentiment that Adi Shankaracharya is showing. Very in line with what Karma Yoga is told in by Sri Krishna in the fifth chapter. What is that? Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you are doing, yat karoshi yadashnasi, whatever you eat, yajjuhoshi, whatever you are trying to sacrifice and exchange for dadasi whatever you are giving, make all of that just as an arpana to me. That is what you can finally do. अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. So just think and give up all the fruits of action as though you were giving it all up to me, and you be happy. That was the Karma Yoga final statement. So similarly here he is trying to make an equivalence, draw an equivalence and say, oh mother, I am so stupid, I am so naughty that I cannot actually do, I don't even know to do a proper mudra archana, I don't know to do a proper japa, pradakshina, ahuti, pranama and all that. So whatever I do in my life, I know I am dedicating myself completely to you. So all my falterings, all my blunders, all my transgressions, as well as all my failed attempts at seeking joy from this world, all my failed attempts of seeking pleasure and laziness, all of that, let it just become completely an arpana unto you. And so he is saying it with a lot of guilt and a lot of feeling and just trying to say, I'm just going to submit my entire life itself before your feet. जपोजल्पशिल्पं सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणमशनाद्याहुतिविधिः प्रणामः संवेशः सुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा सपर्या पर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्. Does anybody recall that that shloka from Shiva Manasa Puja? Uh,
सहचर प्राणा शरीरं गृहां
mm,
पूजाते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः सञ्चारः पदयोः प्रदक्षिणविधिः स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरो यत् कर्म करोमि तत् अखिल शम्भो तवाराधनम्.
wow, exactly. I mean, you spoke my mind exactly. Could you please elaborate? Please speak a little louder at the mic. It's not really audible, both of you. Please explain it, Raghavendra Varya. Hmm.
Well, I will add on the points after you do it.
Okay, so that shloka is from Shivamanasa Puja, where a very similar feeling is expressed. Atma Tvam, you are Atma, you are my Atma. Girija Matihi. So my mind, I'll think of you as my Atma, and Girija Matihi. Girau Jayate iti Girija. One which is born in the Giri. Here the Giri is the Sushumna, the Meru with the spine. So what is at the summit of the spine? The head. So what comes from the head? Intelligence. So Buddhi. Girija Matihi. Mati means intellect or thinking. Girijamati Sahacharaha Pranaha. So what comes in my body? What else is there? All the pranas are there, the pancha pranas. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. So all of these are your Sahacharas. They all are revolving around you. They are your friends. Prana Shariram Griham. Shariram is your Griha. Pujate. So what is the puja I'm doing in this temple? Pujate Vishaya Upabhoga Rachana. I will seek out objects in the world. I will look at some nice titillating things. I will look at some pleasing things. I'll hear some good music or maybe pop music, whatever. I I will touch good things. I want some friction and all that, and then I want to taste good junk food, and I want to smell some good things and so on. So all the Vishaya Upabhoga Rachana is, think of it as being your Naivedya. Vishayopabhoga Rachana, and then when I'm tired with all this Vishaya Upabhoga, the body has had enough, so it will take a rest. So Nidra, it will go to Nidra. Similarly, when people have had enough of samsara, they'll go into Samadhi. So you think that I am going to Samadhi every time I go to Nidra. You do that equivalence, you do that conversion. Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi Sanchara Padayoho. And whatever I walk in this world, let it all become Pradakshina Vidhihi. And then Stotrani Sarva Gira. And whatever I speak, sometimes bad words, good words, neutral words, all that, let it be your stotras. Yadyat karma karomi tat tad akhilam. And in this way, all that I do with my mind, body, whatever, let it all be Akhilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. Let it all become an archana to you.
Akhilam ityukte khilam na iti va.
Khila is part, Akhilam is without part. Partless means the whole. That everything without any reserve or save, without saving anything. Let everything become unrestrictedly just your Aradhana.
So is it complete? That's
Complete.
what you can see here, right?
Tattad Akhilam. Same way here also. Sukham Akhilam. Atmar Panadrisha. All complete attempts at joy. Could you please repeat that shloka, Maria Raghavendra? Hello, are you there?
महोदय भवान् म्यूट् मध्ये अस्ति किमपि वदति वा?
Hari Om Shruyate va? Am I audible?
You are audible. You are audible.
Okay. Trikrama Maria, Gayatu, Japo Jalpaha.
Oh.
Oh,
आत्मा च त्वं गिरिजामतिः सहचराः प्राणाः शरीरं शुभम्
Pujate Vishayopa
पूजा ते विषयोपभोगविधिः
Nidra
स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरौ
Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi
निद्रा समाधि फर्स्ट दिस राइट स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरौ निद्रा समा
Sancharah Padayoh Pradakshina Vidhihi
संचारपदयोः प्रदक्षिणविधिः निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनम् एतत् पठामि वा?
आम्.
जपो जल्पः कल्पं सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यस्त्र
Gatif Pradakshinyakramanam Ashanadyahuti
गतिः प्रादक्षिण्य क्रम प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमण
Kramanam Ashanadyahuti
याहुतिविधिः अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः प्रणामस्सं प्रणामसंवेशस्तुम Pranama Samvesham.
Pranama Samveshas Sukhamakhilam.
Amakilam. Pranama Samvesham. Samvesha Sukhamakila. Matma. Matmarpana Drusha. Taparyaparyayastava Bhavatu Yanme Vilasitam.
Yes, please add your points if you have any.
It's a very nice way to look at it. It's just shift in perspective from thinking that I am doing. It's that you are just doing something, but ultimately, whatever the karma is, whatever the phalita is, both of them are not yours.
Now, what was that verse we studied? We just read. Na bhokta, na karta. What is that? Na karta sit.
Nakartasi na bhoktasi. I can check.
Na kartasi na bhoktasi. Chidakriya or something, correct. So basically, yeah, it is talking about that. Na bhoktasi, na kartasi. Tattva.
Trust. Aham kartotyaham manas. Oh, this is the other one. Atra. Dharma dharmau sukham dukkham manasani nate vibho nakartasi na bhoktasi mukta eva ase sarvada.
Wow. Please explain.
Dharma dharmau sukham dukkham ete मनसि एव सन्ति एते मनोवृत्तयः अथवा मनोविषयाः मनस् इत्यस्य हे विभो विभो इत्युक्ते ओ pervading one, the one who pervades everything, ओ विष्णु इति न कर्तासि न भोक्तासि, you are neither the doer nor the enjoyer of the karmas. Mukta evasi sarvada. Mukta eva, you are always mukta, you are always free, sarvada, at all times.
Correct.
इति अष्टावक्रः जनकम् उक्तवान्.
Atah esha shloka, it is like a stepping stone to come to that, is it not? What do you think?
Correct. First you start giving everything up to Bhagava. Whatever you do is given up. And then later you realize that you really are not doing anything to begin with.
Correct. Adbhutam. Raghavendra, whether you wanted to say add some insights. Would you want to? You're on mute.
Yeah. So the ultimate thing is the entire cosmos is the Leela of her. So whatever we do, whatever we don't do, is everything Chhat Puja itself. In that way, that this type of action plan is only when there is total surrender. So it is not just we do some things and we say it is Atmarpana Dusha. But when there is ultimate surrender, this becomes natural. Is what I feel.
Yes. If somebody tries to do it without that surrender bhava, he does something bad, he is like it is for you. Dukkha comes, he starts crying. That is also wrong. The problem is if you say you are a mukta, you should no longer be, you lose the ability or the privilege of being sad. That is the problem.
Yeah. Okay, please feel free to unmute yourself and add any insights if you feel like it.
अहम् एकवारं पुनः एतं पठामि. I did not read it well last time, so. जपोजल्पः शिल्पं सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणमशनाद्याहुतिविधिः प्रणामः संवेशस्तु मुख प्रणामः संवेशः सुखमखिलमात्मा सुखमखिलमात्मार्पण दृशा पर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्
पुनर्गायतु जपो जल्पशिल्पं सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना
जपोजल्पः शिल्पं सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना
गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणम् अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः
प्रादक्षिण्यम् अशनमा
क्रमणम् अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः
क्रमणमशनाद्याहुतिविधिः
प्रणामः संवेशः सुखम् अखिलम् आत्मार्पणदृशा
सुखामः संवेशः आत्मार्पणदृशा
सपर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्
पर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्
सुधामप्यास्वाद्य प्रतिभयजरामृत्युहरिणीं विपद्यन्ते विश्वे विधिशतमखाद्या दिविषदः करालं यत्क्ष्वेलं कबलितवतः कालकलना न शम्भोस्तन्मूलं तव जननि ताटङ्कमहिमा. Over here, he is now very similar to a previous verse where Rudra did not get destroyed even with the Pralaya because he was in the Asu, he was in the Prana of Devi. Here, he is saying actually Shambhu, he is powerful, but he's not that powerful. I'll tell you why. Because, oh mother, it is because he wedded you and you are a Sumangali, Sarva Mangala Mangalya. And because as a Sumangali, you should wear, or at least you're supposed to wear all these 5 Lakshanas. The Mangalya, then the Tatanka, that is the earrings, and they put one on the toe nail, sorry, the toe, in the toe, one of the toes. So that, and a toe ring, yeah, toe ring. And then they wear bangles. And one last fifth one is they wear the geje. What is that? Nupura. So these are the 5 lakshanas of a newly wedded wife, of a spouse. So they are said to be a Pancha Lakshana Kanya or Pancha Kanya or Pancha Sumangali, it is told. So he is referencing that to say, oh mother, you are, because you are wedded to Shiva, wishing to protect his Ayushya, you are wearing all of these 5 things. And especially so, these 5 ornaments represent 5 different aspects of the Pati, it is told. The Mangalya Sara, the necklace, is representing the heart of the Pati. The Tatanka represents the Ayushya. The toe ring represents his movements, that is his uh, capability to move his body or something like that. So there are 5 different functions. The 5 pranas of the Pati are denoted at each of these. They are invoked into the different ornaments that the wife wears. It's like you lock the key and keep a duplicate with somebody else. So the duplicate pranas of the Pati are now in the hands of, and literally on the body of the wife. So you have kept his Ayushya as a duplicate in your Tatanka. So because of that, this fellow, this Shambhu, has survived destruction. And what happens is, Sudham api aswadya pratibhaya jara mrityu harinam Sudham api aswadya vidhi vidhi shata makhadhyaha divishadaha vishve vipadyante. So at the time of the end of Vipadyante Vishwe, at the time of the destruction of the world, Vidhi, that is Brahma, Shatamakha is Indra because he did 100 uh, yagas to become Indra. Shatamakha Adyaha, and the other, etc., Divishadaha Devatas. What did they did? They did Sudham Aswadya. They drank from a pitcher of Amrita. Sudha, and they just tasted a few droplets of Amrita, which was enough to do Prati Bhaya Jara Mrityu Harinim. So that Amrita was so potent that it removed their Mrityu. It removed them from Jara, from getting old. It removed them from all kinds of Bhaya and Pratibhaya. Pratibhaya means a fear which comes from an opponent or an adversary, or anything which comes from a second person. So pratibhaya jara mrityu harinim sudham aswadya ete devataah api vishve vipadyante. Despite having drunk from the amrita, which could have cured them of at least temporary death, still they will die at the end of the kalpa. Karalam yat kshvelam kabalitavataha kala kalana. So if that is the case, they got scared when the Kshvela, when the Hala Visha came up during the Samudra Manthana. They, though they were supposedly to be Amartyas, they were supposed to be immortals, still they were afraid and they will get destroyed at the end of the world. And such a world destructing Kshvela also, when it came up, Karalam, which is fearsome poison which came up in the Samudra, Kala Kalana, which was equivalent, Kalana means equivalent to Kala, which was equivalent to Mahapralaya itself, who drank Shambho Kabalitavataha. He just drank Kabalitavan. He just swallowed. Uh, he choked on the poison and he just drank it inside. He engulfed it. Still, he did not die. Why? Na Shambhoho tan moolam. It is not because Shambhu was, really powerful. He's telling, Tava janani tatanka mahima. It is because of your tatanka, which was still intact, that his Ayushya was preserved. This is a very funny take that Adi Shankara takes on, in a way, doing a Ninda Stuti. He says, Shambhu, yeah, you're powerful, but not as much as Janani's Tatanka. It is, your Ayushya would have gone because you also, despite being a friend of Vidhi, Shatamaka and all that, maybe you must have also have perished. But because her mother's Tatanka was still in place and intact, your duplicate life was still there, your prana was still there. Tava janani tatanka mahima. It's very nice way of putting down both the father and praising the mother at the same time. Mm.
मङ्गलसूत्र बन्धन समये एवमुच्यते खलु माङ्गल्यं तन्तुनानेन मम जीवनहेतुना इति.
Satyam, exactly. Mama Jivana Hetuna, yeah, and it's the husband who is giving his duplicate key of his Jivana to the wife. So she is now in charge of it. Let's see how.
Bhavanuvad of Devi Aparada Kshamapana Stotra. There it says, just 1 minute. ಮೈಯ ತುಂಬ ಸುಡುಗಾಡಬೋದಿ ವಿಷದೂಟ ಬಯಲನುಟ್ಟ ಜಡೆಯ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಹಾವನ್ನು ತೊಟ್ಟು ಪಶುಪತಿಯೇ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟ ತಲೆಯ ಬುರುಡೆ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭೂತಗಣ ಸುತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡೇ ಇರುವ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೈಯ ಹಿಡಿದಿರುವ ಪುಣ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಶನಾಗಿ ಮೆರೆವ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ holding her hand in a fortune, she became Isha. although he had all the attributes of being in a cremation ground, wearing the skulls and carrying the body with the ashes, because of your grace, he held your hand in the Panigraha, he became Isha.
Ah, okay. Oh, very nice. Correct. Oh, I mean, I don't know if this is inspired by that Devi Aparadha Kshamapana. Is that from that?
Yeah, he did a Bhava Anuvada of the same.
Ah, okay. Because it rang a similar bell, same tone. So we have been trying to learn this. So where is that? चिताभस्मालेपो गरलमशनं दिक्पटधरो जटाधारी कण्ठे भुजगपतिहारी पशुपतिः कपालीभूतेशो भजति जगदीशैकपदवीं भवानी त्वत्पाणिग्रहणपरिपाटिफलमिदम्. Could you just explain this verse which you told in Kannada to the English audience? Just tell it in English, please.
Uh, so, his body is smeared with the ashes, and the food he eats is the poison, as you mentioned as of now also, the poison. Vishaduta is, Visha means poison, Uta means food. Then he is Digambara. He doesn't have any dress to be worn. So entire space is dress. That is Bayalu. Then he doesn't have a very smart hairstyle or anything. He has left his jatte from millions of years. And the only ornament he wears is snakes. And his Pashupati is the lord of all the flora fauna kingdom around him. And he has a skull in his head for taking the meals. And all his friends are Bhutaganas. Although all these attributes are there, he is very fortunate. He is fortunate. So, because the fortunate within him is because of the presence of her in his life.
Fantastic. Bhavani Tvat Pani Grahana Paripati Phalam. Yeah. And he rose from being just a Pashupati, like a cattle herd. What is that? The Lord of Cattle, to becoming Jagadisha. To becoming Jagadisha because by way of marriage, by way of wedding, he became the Pati of the Jagadishwari. Therefore, he automatically got a boost up, a level up from being just a Pashupati to Jagatpati. Yeah. And not to misconstrue and as this or that verse being a commentary on Shiva, but that is how poetic license is. You know, the poets sometimes to praise one has to kind of insult or um, deprecate the other. That is quite natural.
I don't see any deprecation here, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. In the sense that
He's speaking of the reality.
Shiva being living in cremation ground, that is to give anugraha again. He is not living there because of some other reason.
Yeah.
I have heard this somewhere else. So whatever all the different things that you said, or that Sutra says, that he drinks poison, he has snakes all over his body, he does not wear anything, etc., are all vibhutis rather than something that are nindaniyas. So there is not really any kind of nindana there. I don't see any ninda at all.
Correct.
So,
Yeah. That is the beauty in the sense that he is in one lens to pray. It's as though he's praising Bhagavati by saying, such a poor person became suddenly so rich and became Jagatpati. At the same time, he is also, there is another similar verse which says, Ashanam Garalam Tvadiya, etc. So that means you have nothing with you that you actually have to drink poison and wear the charma of some fallen animal and you wear a jata and all that. So, oh Shiva, you have nothing which you can give me. Therefore, give me one thing, bhakti meva dehi. Just give me bhakti is what another shloka from Shivananda Lahiri says. So it is in a way, like you rightly said, it's not a ninda per se, but in form of a ninda, though it may appear to be a ninda, it's in fact praising him for his vairagya and his vibhuti.
Correct. It's just Varnana, and Varnana is always good in that film.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yes. Would it be like because he doesn't have any possession on himself and he has got nothing to lose, and when you don't have anything to lose in your life and you have got all the intelligence and happiness and you're so happy within yourself, you don't worry about your surroundings and anything, you just carry on with your life. So would it be like Shiva, a
Wow,
person who is,
correct.
and if you have nothing to lose, you don't fear anybody, you don't fear your boss, you don't fear nobody, you just do whatever you want to do as long as you're in the right path.
Exactly. It's a beautiful interpretation, correct. When we have nothing to lose, we don't really have to fear anything, no ambience, no food requirements, and so on, correct.
The point is to lose the feeling that we have something to lose.
Mm. Because all are his.
The problem is with the feeling that we have something to lose.
Correct. Very beautiful. Anything else? Arya, you were saying? Would you like to continue?
It's just that
Correct.
he's a carefree person. He's just like a soaring eagle.
Correct.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyawad. Yeah. Priyanka Maria, Gayatu.
Take it. 20.
28.
सुधामप्यास्वद्य प्रतिभयजरां मृत्युहरणीम् विपद्यन्ते विश्वे विविषयः कराळं यत्क्वेळं कबलितवतः कालकलना नटम्पोस्तन्मूलं तव जननिताटङ्कमहिमा
सुधामप्यास्वाद्य प्रतिभयजरामृत्युहरिणीम्
सुधामप्यस्वाद्य प्रतिभयजरामृत्युहरिणीम्
विपद्यन्ते विश्वे विधिशतमखाद्या दिविशदः
विपद्यन्ते विश्वे विधिशतमखाद्या विविशदः
करालं यत्क्ष्वेलं कबलितवतः कालकलना
करालं यत्क्ष्वेलं कबलितवतः कालकलना
न शम्भोस्तन्मूलं तव जननि ताटङ्कमहिमा
शम्भोस्तन्मूलं तव जननिताटङ्कमहिमा
साधु किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहि जम्भारि मकुटम् प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभम् उपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते. So he is painting a picture of Lalita, who is shown along with her different servants in the palace. So if you remember, what is the name of the palace?
Kadambavane yadasti tasya.
Ah, Kadambavane.
It was a money. It was made with monies, right?
Ah,
Chintamani.
Chintamani Graha. Chintamani Grahe. So she is in the Chintamani Graha, in the palace of Chintamani Graha, and she has many servants around her. All the Vagdevatas and the Nitya Shodashikas, all the other Avarnas. I mean, there are so many Avarnas. Trivikramarya knows better about this. In the Khadgamala, there are some 9 or 12 or 16 Avarana Devatas, all being called out. So, think of this as a sabha. So, in this sabha, what is happening? Devi is sitting there. Okay, let me just pull that picture up. This is a good picture. So, all the Devis are here, all her Sakhis are there, and all the Devatas are prostrating before her as the ministers. So, in her form as the Rani, the queen, or so to speak, the king of this court, she is holding court. And then what happens? Bhavasya bhavanam prasabham upayatasya. So, somehow for some emergency, Shiva or Bhava comes into the court. He stands at the door of the court and he wants to meet with the queen. He wants to meet with his wife, also the Tripura Sundari. So because of which Devi, she is overcome by love and respect for her wife, for her husband, and she immediately gets up from her seat and runs. She runs through the court floor and comes to the entrance to meet Bhava. This is the imagery. What is happening then is Parijana Uktihi Vijayate. Then the Parijana, all the Parivara Devatas around her are telling her something. What are they telling? Kiritam Vairincham Parihara Purah Kaitabha Bhidaha Kathore Kotire Skhalasi Jambhari Makutam Jahi iti. There all these servants are telling her, be careful, be careful. Vairincham Kiritam Parihara. Kick away the crown properly of Vairincha, that is Brahma, because all of them have placed their Kiritas before you. They have come as ministers. They are holding court. The court is in session, and they have all placed their Kiritas on the floor as a mark of respect. So be careful. Don't trip and fall on these Kiritas. Kiritam Vairincham Parihara Puraha. In front of you, there is the Kaitabha Bhidaha Kiritaha. Kaitabha Bhida is Vishnu because he killed Madhu and Kaitabha. So his Kirita is there. So be careful. And Kathore Kotire Skhalasi. And you will fall on this. You will trip Skhalasi. You will fall and trip over this Kathora Kotira, the very gem-studded, very harsh, very rough crowns of these people. Jambhari Makutam Jahi, kick away Jambhari Makutam. Be careful on your way. There is Indra's crown also. Jambhari is Indra because he killed the Jambhasura. So be careful. And such was the Ukti, such was the words spoken by the Parijana, the Parivara Devatas of Lalita, and that is resounding in the court, that is echoing in the court, Vijayate. And why is this happening? Because Pranamreshu Eteshu, because all these Devatas are prostrating before you, and hence their crowns are on the floor. Prasabham Upayatasya Bhavanam Bhavasya. Abhyuthane, you have gotten up from your seat. Tava abhyuthane. When did it happen? Bhavanam upayatasya bhavasya. When Bhava came to your bhavana, to your palace, then such an incident had occurred, and I have seen it. I have visualized such an event, is what Adi Shankara is telling. So, all in all, of course, it's a repeated message that all devatas have bowed before her, and such is the Mahatmya of Devi, as well as despite being the queen of the world, still in some part of her heart, she has this love and romance kept alive in her heart for her husband. So when Bhava comes, she immediately doesn't even care for what she's walking on. She just runs to meet Shiva. So that could also mean how, when all situations are conducive within ourselves, in our own body, when all the forces of our body are in complete surrender to that Kundalini, the Kundalini immediately rises up, doesn't care what it is going through, it just does Bhedana through all the chakras and all the granthis, and immediately goes to meet the Sahasrara, that is Shiva. That could also be, yeah.
You can interpret these kiritas as being the granthis.
Correct.
And she is Jahi, she is just kicking them and going.
Correct. Exactly. Virincha is Brahma Granthi, Kaitapabeda is Vishnu Granthi, and Jambhari is the Rudra Granthi. So all these three exactly are pierced through, and she's just walking directly towards union. Anybody else would like to give in your opinions? Please feel free to disagree if you wish to, and do give a different interpretation if that is the case.
No, we can't disagree with the poetry. It is their bhava and their view. It is just the enjoyment.
Correct.
तत्र विजयते इत्युक्तं तां विजयते
Parijana uktihi vijayate. The resonant sound of the quote, that here Vijayate doesn't literally mean someone is victorious. Vijayate means it is emerging. It's coming up in the quote. Just as you would say, Hail, hail, O Lord, etc. And all these bhattas do that. So something like that.
कीटिं वैरिञ्चिं परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि च हि जम्भारि मुकुटम् रणं रणं रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयात्यस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
Astu.
Oh,
Atra.
this time I got it without mistake.
Yes, it was really good.
Happy.
Samichinam. Atyuttama. So we will just read through in the next 3 minutes. We'll just read through all the shlokas we have discussed today, and we'll stop. त्वया हृत्वा वामं वपुरपरितृप्तेन मनसा शरीरार्धं शम्भोरपरमपि शङ्के हृतमभूत् यदेतत्त्वद्रूपं सकलमरुणाभं त्रिनयनम् कुचाभ्याम् आनम्रं कुटिलशशिचूडालमकुटम् जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवति रुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत्स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः त्रयाणां देवानां त्रिगुणजनितानां तव शिवे भवेत्पूजा पूजा तव चरणयोर्या विरचिता तथा हि त्वत्पादोद्वहनमणिपीठस्य निकटे स्थिता ह्येते शश्वन्मुकुलितकरोत्तं समकुटाः विरिञ्चिः पञ्चत्वं व्रजति हरिराप्नोति विरतिं विनाशङ्कीनाशो भजति धनदो याति निधनम् वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा महासंहारेऽस्मिन् विहरति सति त्वत्पतिरसौ जपो जल्पशिल्पं सकलम् अपि मुद्रा विरचना गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणमशनाद्या हुतिविधिः प्रणामः संवेशः सुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा सपर्यापर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम् सुधामप्यास्वाद्य प्रतिभयजरा मृत्युहरिणीं विपद्यन्ते विश्वे विधिशतमखाद्या दिविषदः करालं यत्क्ष्वेलं कबलितवतः कालकलना न शम्भोस्तन्मूलं तव जननि ताटङ्कमहिमा किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहि जम्भारिमकुटम् प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते। अस्तु, अनेके धन्यवादाः। अग्रिमकक्षायां मिलामः। नमस्ते।
स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु।
लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। धन्यवादः।
धन्यवादाः।
Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद.
नमस्कार।
Thank you.
Thank you.